guys. Excuse me. My voice, I guess I haven't talked in a while. Couple hours. Just been hanging at home. Working on some wall work today. So definitely make sure that you'll notice that my mat is, I've got it kind of up my wall a little bit because we're going to be using the wall kind of in the later half of class to get into some inversions if you feel comfortable with that. And if you're not comfortable with that, a wall is an awesome place to start. You'll notice that my area around my wall is pretty clear. I could probably fit like another 2 mats on this side before I have my couch. Hey, Helen. And then I don't really have anything on this side. So just make sure that your area, you know, up above you, around you, behind you, you'll definitely want the wall. But we'll start at the top of our mat in just a couple minutes. If you have any questions or if there's anything specific you want to work on, let me know. We are going to do some stretching at the wall. You can drop a comment here while I'm waiting if there's anything specific. And then we'll also work on some balancing at the wall with some abs and also bird of paradise at the wall. And of course, inversions. So let's see who else is on here. Lance. Hi, Lance. Hi, Allie. Allie changed her name on Instagram. And I haven't decided if I want to be friends with her anymore or not. Hey, Ashley, secrets. So she's lucky that I'm saying hi to her. I'm really upset that she took the alligator cat out of her name. We were like cat twins, and I don't know, I feel like we're not anymore. So it's been upsetting. Okay, it's 5:31. So make sure you have your mat. I'll give you a second to just go ahead and kind of like put it up the wall. You'll notice that my baseboard is here and I've just kind of climbed it up a little bit, and you'll kind of see why we're going to do that a little bit later. And since these are only 30-minute sessions, guys, we're going to start them pretty quickly. So rather than coming into Shavasana, this is going to feel a little bit uncomfortable. I don't love it, Allie. It's going to feel a little bit uncomfortable, but just start at the top of your mat. Kind of take your feet about hips-width distance apart, and I want you to just start with facing your palms open and kind of shake your shoulders out, settle in, make sure that your glutes are relaxed, and palms will face towards your device. So this is called Stamasti Tahi, equal standing pose. And just close your eyes, and I want you to just begin to breathe into your belly and feel your ribs expand in all directions, so you'll feel your back ribs press towards your wall and your front ribs press to your device. And you'll notice that there's some expansion on the side body as you breathe in and out. So just take a couple moments here, feel the feet really grounded. A couple more big breaths. Make sure your knees are soft, your quads are engaged, glutes are relaxed. One more breath. Begin to slowly flutter your eyes open. Go ahead and bring your hands to heart center, and then begin to swoop your energy all the way up. Come into mountain pose. Hands are up, look up. Exhale, chest and thighs connect. Deep forward fold. A nice slow hinge. I have a big bend in my knees. Crown of my head relaxes. Really heavy focus on pressing the tailbone up towards the sky as your head hangs heavy. Maybe you grab onto opposite elbows. Your feet are probably still hips width distance apart, so you can take a ragdoll here, bouncing up and down, rocking side to side, releasing through the low back. Now inhale, take your hands to your shins, flat back, shoulders away from the ears. We'll take that a couple times. Exhale, chest and thighs connect, fold. We'll take that 2 more. Inhale, lift halfway. Think flat back. Don't worry about your hamstrings. Exhale, fold. Once more. Inhale, we lift. Shoulders away from the ears, gazing at the top of your mat. Exhale, fold. Good. Heel, toe, your feet together. Now this time, reverse swan dive. Come all the way up, back into mountain pose. And then chest and thighs connect, fold. This time your feet are together, more of a traditional sun A. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant your hands to the top of your mat. Walk back into your plank on your knees or on your toes. High to low push-up. If you're not ready, come all the way down to your belly. You can lift your heart, take a cobra through there. And then come into down dog. However you choose, take
3 breaths here, kind of pedaling out the feet, broadening the shoulders. Head is loose, maybe your gaze is to your belly button. Big breath in and out. One more inhale. And an exhale, we'll take another round of Sun A, lifting and folding 3 times. So inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift your heart halfway, flat back. Exhale, chest and thighs connect, fold. 2 more times. Inhale, lift, warming up into the back of the legs and through the spine. Exhale, fold. 1 more, lift and fold. Now press through the feet, reverse all the way up, mountain pose. Grab onto the left wrist, bend over to the right, gaze under your left armpit. Keep pressing down through the left foot. Feel length from the left shoulder to the left hip. Inhale back to center, switch your grip. Grab your right wrist, bend to the left, gaze underneath your right armpit. Yeah. Inhale, come back to center. Maybe you look up, grow a little bit taller. Exhale, you fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, plant the hands. Vinyasa, however you choose. I know we're kind of getting into that a little faster than normal without a warm-up. So if you need to take that a little bit slower or modify, you can. We'll go through 1 more round of Sun A, adding on a little at the end before we get into abs. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top. 3 times. Inhale, you lift. Exhale, fold. Do 2 more on your own. Inhales, you lengthen. Exhale, you fold. 1 more round using your breath. Press through the feet, root to rise, come all the way up, mountain pose. Think about growing about 2 inches taller. Really press through the feet. Draw your inner thighs together. Now take side bends to each side. Think about lengthening the side of the body that you're not stretching on. So my underside, I'm not crunching it down. I'm lengthening it up first and then creating space on both sides. Come back to center, maybe a little back bend if you want. And fold. We're adding on here. Make sure that you're at the top of your mat. Just let's do a lift and a fold for good measure. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold. Plant your hands. Now step your right foot back. Drop your back knee down. Top of the back foot down. So we're coming into a low crescent. Your hands can come to the top of the knees, or you can lift your arms all the way up. I'm pressing into my hip flexor here. If you want to take a little side stretch here, you can. If you still need to stretch out through the side body. If you want to do any variation with your arms, a cactus, you can do that. Take a couple more breaths. 1 more. Now I want you to plant your hands to frame the foot. We're coming into half front splits. So straightening out your left leg by sending the hips back. Want our hamstrings to be nice and open for when we do that bird of paradise on the wall towards the end of class. So my shoulders are away from my ears. They're not up here. I have that nice flat back, just like we did in our warm-up. Your front leg does not need to be straight unless that's in your practice. I can straighten mine out really easily. If you can't, it's not a big deal. Take another inhale. And exhale, begin to bend back into the front leg. Plant the hands, curl up the back toe, step it back into your plank, and vinyasa. Good. Take 1 more round of Sun A, taking that on the left. Bend your knees, look forward. Make your way up to the top, lift and fold 3 times on your own. I don't want to do too much on our wrists right now because we're going to be on our wrists for the second half of class. So go ahead and take your final fold and then begin to stand all the way up. Take some bends to each side. This should feel familiar. After your folds on each, or your side bends on each side, drape your chest down over your legs, lift halfway, plant the hands. This time your left foot will step back, back knee down, top of the back foot down. Hands can come to the top of the knee.
Arms can come up, low crescent lunge. You can do some variations. Stretch through the side body. It's all up to you. 30 minutes seems so short, but I heard a quote today that it doesn't have to be sweaty and it doesn't have to be your best for it to be effective. So just keep that in mind. Plant the hands, send the hips back, half front splits. Sometimes we think that the most intense workouts are the ones that hold value, and that's not necessarily true. If you've ever been to restorative, you know there's a lot of value in restorative yoga. And we do sweat, just don't get your heart rate up. So that's good. Go ahead and bend back into your right knee, vinyasa. See if you can bring the knee up into the chest so we're eliminating that scraping sound that's engaging the core. And then we'll meet in down dog. Take a few breaths in down dog. And I'm gonna explain to you what we're gonna do while you're in down dog, so there's no reason that you'll need to look up. So we're gonna come into half moon on the wall, and I don't care which side you start with. So take a couple more breaths, and then you'll just begin to come to the wall. Go ahead and come back up to it. So find one of your feet on the wall. Just remember which foot you have on the wall. And I'm coming into half moon. So I've got my left foot on the wall, so my right hand is down. And I want you to really press your foot into the wall, and then go ahead and look back at your toes. You don't want your leg too high up the wall, because think about it, in half moon, your ankle, your knees, and your hips are in line. Okay, so from half moon, I want you to really press the heel that's on the wall into the wall, like stamp your heel onto it. You can really lean back into this and open up the chest because you have that foundation of the wall to support you. Maybe if you don't normally take your gaze up because you lose balance, go ahead and try that and keep engaging that back leg that's on the wall. You should be like, wow, this is what half moon should feel like. This is a pretty strong pose. Good. Now, soft bend in the bottom knee if it isn't already there. Use your obliques. Float your bottom hand. Now you should be really pressing that back leg into the wall. Bottom hand is floating. We're gonna take 10 tiny pulses lifting up. Up, here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Go ahead and come down and switch this out. Normal half moon. We're going to take this in revolved in just a moment. So I'll give you a second to switch your legs out. Take a peek. Make sure that you're all in line with the foot on the wall. And then just hold normal half moon for a moment. My right foot is on the wall. My left hand is down. And my fingers are tinted. I don't know if you could see that. Just because if I plant my hands, I feel like I collapse in my shoulder. I want you to think about lifting up out of that shoulder. Lift your gaze. Stamp your foot into the wall. Lean back a little bit. Whew. Love a good half moon. Now, begin to float your bottom hand. Woohoo! Little different there, especially for me. And pulse. 10, 9, 8. Little bend in the standing leg. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come off the wall. Good job. Shake your legs out for a second. Oh my God, we're already halfway through class. Crazy. All right, we're coming into revolved half moon now. Feel your glutes. Ooh, I can feel them. Okay, don't care which leg you start with. Revolved half moon. One foot comes to the wall. So if your left foot is on the wall, then your right arm goes up. Okay, so it's opposite. Really press the foot into the wall. Now, we're gonna have to engage the core even more. This is harder. We're gonna do the same oblique lifts. Float your bottom hand and pulse. 10, 9, oh shit. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and plant the hand down and switch. So it's almost like you're in a standing L at the wall, but your opposite hand comes up. Revolved half moon, pulsing. Up 10 times. Float your bottom hand. Here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Building strength. 3, 2, and 1. Come off the wall. Come down to your mat. Let's stretch out our wrists before we get into it. So this is going to look funny. Here's what you're going to do. Take your wrists. put them by your boobs, okay? So they're not in my armpits, they're by my boobs, and my fingertips are now towards my scapula, so my elbows are out. Flap your wings. You can flap them front and back, up and down, put some pressure on the wrist. Yeah, good. Now come into your box. Fingers are forward right now. Go ahead and take them out to the side. Shift weight left and right. Good. We'll stretch on the wall, and then we'll get into our inversions. And if it's comfortable for you, point your fingertips back towards your kneecaps. I curl my toes under for this. It's up to you. Now slowly with intention, begin to lift the heel of your wrist, and then you'll lift the balls of your fingers all the way up onto your fingerprints, and then slowly lower them back down. So think fingerprints, backs of your knuckles, ball of the hands, palms, and heel of the wrist. Good. Do that one more time, slow and with intention, if you can. If not, you just keep stretching the wrist. However it feels good to you. Lower back down. All right, let's get a quad, let's save that actually. Let's save that. Let's get a chest stretch on the wall first before we get into those handstands. So don't care which way you start, put one shoulder on the wall. At school we say one shoulder on the wall, so of course that's all I hear in my head right now. All right, so I'm facing one of my walls, my shoulder is to the wall. Draw that arm that's on the wall back and keep looking forward. Try to keep your shoulders square. You can relax your legs, your head can go against the wall. Just feel that nice opening through the chest. Couple breaths. For 3, 2, and 1, and then just go ahead and switch. Make sure your arm is, your elbow and your shoulder and your wrist are in line, so we're not in a Y, we're not half an X or half a Y, we're in half a T. Press your chest forward to feel more of that stretch in the chest and shoulder. Yeah, couple breaths. And then in a minute, we're gonna turn around and face the wall, and it's almost like you're getting frisked. You're gonna put your hands on your wall, but you're gonna stick your butt back and drop your chest down. So I'm getting frisked, I put my hands on the wall, and then just begin to drop your head towards the wall. Your butt will come towards your device, and you'll feel a nice opening through your armpits. It feels like puppy pose, so it's kind of like puppy pose at the wall. So you're like this, dropping your chest. This is such an attractive pose. Hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Good. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and turn back around so you're facing the screen. We're gonna get into our first inversion. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get onto our forearms. So there's 2 ways that we can get onto our forearms. We can do it towards the wall, or we can do it away from the wall. And we're gonna do it both ways. One way might resonate with you more. And the reason I have you do it both ways is because when you put your feet on the wall, with your butt towards the wall, you can feel the stacking that we talk about, stacking your hips and your shoulders, okay? So you're gonna bring your feet up to the wall and come on down to your forearms. Yeah. I want your fingers, your arms in a number 11. Okay, so they're not like this, they're not like this. Parallel, number 11. Fingers are spread nice and wide. I want you to keep your gaze forward towards the top of your mat. Now you begin to take your feet, walk them up the wall, and you might notice that you have to walk your elbows back. I want you to, and I have to come up onto my toes to feel that stacking. So I'm going for getting my shoulders stacked, my hips and my shoulders stacked. So, and then I'm gonna keep my gaze forward. Now if I want, I can begin to lift one leg, but when you lift a leg, be careful that it's not going up and over towards your head. I want you to find a nice straight line. Keep pressing down towards your forearms and keep looking at your fingers. Good. You can switch.
And you have to remember to breathe here. If your shoulders, if you lose feeling in your shoulders, come out of it immediately. And you take a break whenever you need. Just come on down. So I'll give you another second to try that if you choose, or if you're ready to go towards the wall, you can do that too. So one mistake that I see people make when they go to the wall is that they get so freaking close to the wall. Okay, so like if we're in forearm stand, for instance, I'll see people put their fingertips right at the baseboard where the mirror or the wall goes. You guys, think how long your legs are. You're not going to miss the wall. You can start back, halfway back on your mat, and you will still hit the wall, okay? I promise. All right, so let's go towards the wall. Towards the wall, I want you to make sure that there's at least 2 handprints of space between your wall and where your fingertips go. So same rules apply. We keep our forearms in a number 11. We don't splay our elbows out. We don't splay our fingers out. Nice and strong. We want to press down through that meaty part of our forearm and continue to gaze forward. So it's like we come into dolphin pose here once we get set up, fingers spread nice and wide. I send my hips high. I gaze forward. I can lift one leg up and just stay here, building strength in the shoulder girdle. Or maybe you bend this standing leg and begin to power through. The wall is there to catch you if you need it. Try to not rely on the wall, but it's there. The wall is my friend. And once you get there, press up through your forearms and keep gazing forward. So make sure you try it on both legs. I'm gonna save my energy so I can talk. And then take a break after you do both legs. Make sure we're doing okay. Perfect, good. And then we'll take a stretch on the wall for a moment. We'll get off of our wrists because we're about to come upside down into handstand. All right, so once you're done, this is where I want your mat to definitely be up into your baseboard, because this might cause a little bit of, not pain in the knee, but you know when you first start yoga and you're like, God, yoga hurts my knees from being on the wood floor. All right, one knee comes all the way back onto your baseboard. My back leg is up the wall, okay? So my leg is like this, but it's against the wall. So my knee is all the way back to my baseboard. Now take your other leg and bring it forward and rise up. It's like you're in a low crescent lunge, but your back shin is up the wall. Press into it. Whew. Should feel a stretch all through that right quad. This is kind of like hero's pose. And if you want to, you can lift your arms up. Maybe you take them back to the wall. That might feel more intense. I'm not doing that. My quads have been so tight from riding my Peloton. Normally I do like yoga 7 days a week and I spin 2 times a week, and now it's been the opposite. And my legs hate me. Take a couple breaths. Man, only 6 minutes left. And then switch. So other knee comes up to where the baseboard and your carpet meet, or maybe your wood floor if you're fancy. Take that opposite leg in front, like you're in an anchoring lunge or a low crescent. And lean back into that wall. Whew, you should feel a nice stretch on the quad. And if you need to make this less intense, you can bring the hands down. I definitely know I started there. Remember, it doesn't have to be an intense, sweaty workout for it to have value. I loved that saying. Now I'm kind of worried that I'm like never gonna have an intense, sweaty workout again. No, I will. All right, good. Go ahead and come on down. Now we're gonna work on handstand. Okay, so my big rule for handstand, if you lose feeling in your shoulders, come down, and you have to breathe through headstand. So if you handstand, sorry, if you find a point where you're not breathing, you either need to reconnect with your breath or you need to come down. Deal? So the same way we got into forearm stand is the same way we'll get into headstand. Handstand, I don't know why I keep saying headstand. So you can come into downward facing dog at the wall, and I have my heels right up at my baseboard. And then I'm begin to walk my feet up my wall. And remember, if you break your wall, it's your insurance, not mine. My husband told me that too. So I had to walk my hands back because I really want to feel that stacking of my hips over my shoulders. I'm gazing between my thumbs up at the top of my neck and I'm pressing the earth away. Okay, so this is like an L at the wall. And same thing that we did in forearm stand. If you want to lift one leg, you can do so, but make sure it's a straight line. So I'm not going to drop it over towards my head. I want to keep tucking my ribs under, engaging my core and broadening through my shoulders by pressing the earth away. Continue to breathe, and if you want to switch legs, you can. This is going to build a lot of strength in your shoulders, guys. Good. Remember, if you start to lose feeling, come down. I can hang out up here for a while, but if you haven't done this in a while or ever, you might not be able to hang out up here as long, and that's okay. Good. You can come onto your toes, press forward, drop down when you're ready, shake your wrists out if you need to. I love that chicken dance wrist stretch. That's what I'm gonna do. Breathe. All right, and then we'll take handstand towards the wall. So for that, you're gonna have to power through in standing splits, just like we do in class when we're in standing splits and I give you the opportunity to go upside down. So if you're like, oh God, I haven't done that in a while, I'll give you some tips. I'm gonna face you to show you, and then I'll turn around. So I'm gonna go sideways. So I come up into standing splits. My palms have to be flat, you guys. You can't come into handstand tented. Your whole hand has to be flat. My fingers are nice and wide. I'm in standing splits, and I'm creating a triangle. The 2 points of it are my wrists, and then the back point of it is my big toe. I'm gonna bend my standing leg and come up onto my toe and shift my shoulders over my wrists. That's a big core engagement. That might be quite enough for you, just shifting forward. Then maybe you begin to take little hops. They don't even have to be that big. Maybe you tuck your knee into your chest, okay? And you can do all that at the wall. So if you hit the wall, you're good. Remember, we're not coming all the way up to the wall. We're starting at least 2 handprints back, okay? So keep looking forward. Remember, the wall's just there to support you. It doesn't necessarily have to catch you, okay? Make sure you take both sides and make sure that you breathe. Try to come down slow and controlled, maybe one leg. Maybe you tuck the knees into the chest. Make sure you switch. Tucking the knees into the chest and lowering down is a little bit more advanced. Takes a lot of control. You do what you need. Just have some fun. For 3. For 2. And 1. Shake your wrists out. We're gonna do one more thing. We'll give our wrist a break. We'll do one more thing. It's not an inversion, but it does use the wall. We're gonna burn it out a little bit. So we still have 2 minutes. So those are just some tricks and things you can do to help you build your inversion practice. Know that having an inversion practice or being able to do an inversion does not measure how good you are at yoga. There's no such thing as being good at yoga, okay? It's all a journey. Even breathing is just yoga. Restorative yoga is yoga. Okay, so it's not about the handstand. We need a shirt that says that. It's not about the handstand. Okay, so go ahead and face the wall. I will give you as many cues as I can. I want you to put your feet on the wall. Lay down on your back. Put your feet on the wall. And I want you to have your knees over your hips. Okay, so it's like we're about to go into a supine twist where your knees stack, but your feet are on the wall. Take your hands down by your side, press your feet into the wall, lift your butt up off of the floor. It's a glute bridge. Now lower it down and hover, lift up, lower and hover. Keep lifting and hovering, pressing the heels into the wall. You have 20. I'm counting in my head. You have 10 more. Engaging your core as well. You should start to feel this in your hamstrings. Feel this in your butt.
Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees into your chest. Oh my God, we've got to do bird of paradise on the wall. We're gonna do it. And then we'll be done. All right, come up. Come up, come up, come up. One more thing, bird of paradise. Okay, kind of awkward to show you this on the wall, but we'll go ahead. It's kind of like you're coming into half moon. Kick one leg up onto the wall, but you want to have your knee bent this time. Okay, so my knee is bent. My foot is on the wall. Now take your shoulder that's closest to the wall, bring that hand up and around into your hip pocket, take a bind, keep lifting your chest. Now I have bird of paradise, so I don't necessarily need to do this on the wall, but if you don't, then you can begin to straighten your leg out or walk your toes up the wall more. Keep lifting your chest. That's where I need to work on because I have super tight shoulders. And then make sure you switch sides. So this is what bird of paradise looks like, not on the wall. So this is essentially what we're doing on the wall. Okay, so take your other foot up, make sure there's a bend in your knee, wrap around, take a bind, walk your leg, straighten your leg that's on the wall out as much as you can, drop your shoulders back, lift your chest. Yeah. Good job. And release. Go ahead and come down to seated. That was fun. I love wall work classes. Maybe we'll do some when we get back into the studio. So go ahead and sit crisscross. My heart rate is up pretty high, so I hope yours is too, at least a little bit. Wrists to your knees, palms face up. Take a big breath in. And out. 2 more. Breath in. And out. 1 more breath in. And out. Bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for joining me for this special edition of Wall Work Wednesday, quarantine edition. So many new additions that are coming into our lives now. I hope to see you guys in the studio again really, really soon. All my love and all my light. Namaste. I'll put this on YouTube, hopefully. So see you guys soon. Love you. Bye.